Now I will tell you the story of the true origins of Aryanism, what the true Aryan teachings mean, what it means to be Aryan, and what it means to be a spirited, eternal being. I'm going to begin this type of educational and philosophical content, which also has a lot of occult hidden knowledge within it, by reviewing a series of books which are available for purchase. Some of them are free, and I am going to start this project by sharing this type of knowledge with you, and in the future I will also do a format of free ranting and free thought, which is based on my empirical observations, my experiences in life. But for starters, I think that it is best to share with you what kind of knowledge we have access to. And the first book that I am going to be reviewing today is called the Orion Book. It is written by author Wes Penre, and he also has a lot of other books. He has free books available on the internet. They're called the Wes Penre papers. They're basically thousands of pages in which he goes into detail about Earth history, about the devil, about how the devil has enslaved humanity and is keeping us in a type of virtual world. Now, basically, when we compare this type of knowledge with the ancient Nordic and Aryan traditions, we can see that at first humanity was created to have a good existence, to enjoy life, to not be enslaved, to not live by force, by serving evil, dark forces. And of course, his type of knowledge, which he shares, is a bit more on the Gnostic, occultic side, but it still has as its origins the true Aryanism. In my opinion, these are part of our true ancient teachings, and there are other occult thinkers, philosophers who have their own occultic orders, who also share Aryan teachings. But this man, Wes Penre, he claims that he was an illuminati insider. Basically, this means that he had access by one way or another. I'm not sure how he was an insider. He doesn't really go into much detail regarding this topic. But I know for sure that it is true, because the knowledge he shares deeply resonates with my personal experiences in this world, in this sick and evil and twisted society, this crooked evil system which only bashes man, which tries to break the human spirit, which hates man for who he is, this anti-human system, this type of hell realm that we're inhabiting. And in these two books, the Orion book series, I will try to explain in, let's say, an hour or so, for starters, as I am not planning to tell you everything that he has written, because he has written thousands of pages. I have also read his papers. There are a couple of thousands of pages. And the story is extremely interesting. It is also very disturbing. It is a very serious, dark, somber story. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the fools who prefer to have their rose-colored glasses like the bunch of idiots they are. This story is for the truth seeker, for the Aryan, for the noble human. Now, the word Aryan means noble. In the ancient times, from the most ancient of traditions, humanity has descended from Atlantis, from the Northland. In this version of our civilization, which is probably around 10,000 years old, because there were a couple of civilizations before that, and they went out. The last time a flood wiped out almost all of humanity, and I will get to that part in a moment. But the truth is that we descend from Atlantis. This is, in today's times, this is the land of Ireland, Scotland and England, and also the Scandinavian northern landscape. It is a very ugly lie perpetuated by the Sumerian Draconian Empire, those who practice circumcision, which is an anti-human and very evil ritual of mutilation, and they want to lie to us that humanity has its roots in the Middle East, which is a very filthy, nasty and ugly lie meant to crush the Aryan spirit. And I say no to them. They will never crush my spirit. I will fight to the death to defend the truth, to defend the Aryan spirit. This is how my forefathers have survived. This is how I am in this world. I will not back down in front of the enemy, no matter what he uses. The enemy uses psychotronics, stalking, every evil and nasty trick in the book, but he cannot crush the Aryan spirit. In the end, the Aryan will crush the evil dwarf. And now I will start this process by simply sharing the truth, because the truth is the most powerful weapon that we Aryan people have against the enemy. And this nasty lie that we are somehow connected to the Mesopotamian landscape, to these desert lands which are inhabited by these dark-skinned people is very nasty and ugly lie, basically. The true origins of Western civilization has nothing to do with these Semitic Abrahamic religions, nor does it have to do with Buddhism, with Hinduism, with Brahmanism, and every one of these religious branches. These are all systems of control. Basically, it's a system to break the spirit. It's a false light. It's false ascension. They do not save your soul. These types of belief systems are designed to enslave you, to wipe your memory after death, and to keep you in this nasty loop of forced reincarnation, which basically takes away your quantum, which is your life essence, your eternal life essence, and you're not meant to stay here. You can ascend to Orion and beyond, because we're from Orion. Basically, everything which is beyond this plane of existence that we inhabit, beyond this closed type of world. This world is built on dead light. It's a false matrix type of world, and everything beyond this false matrix we can call Orion or the Ka. The ancient Egyptians, they used to call it the Ka, and in the Orion Book, in these books, it is explained in detail how we humans got to this point, how we lost our memory, how we got enslaved. Now the story is very interesting because when you study the dark traditions, the dark occult traditions, you can see the parallels, you can connect the dots, and you can see it's all intertwined. Basically, the northern teachings are the weapon that the Aryan can use against the Sumerian Draconian Empire, because they're more powerful dragons from the northern lands, from the Carpathian Mountains. These are the mountains which are situated in the land of Eastern Europe, in Romania, and my forefathers come from there. So I know that those who come from the Caucasian mountains, from these lands which are near Russia, near the Middle East, near the deserts, they're the false teachers. They don't carry such good genes such as I carry, and it all boils down to the DNA you carry. This is also a truth that these evil and dark Semitic forces are trying to erase, but they cannot erase the truth, because at the end of the day, your DNA determines who you are as a person, the quality of life you have, everything about you, your spiritual power, your life essence is encoded in your genes. And if you're a Mesopotamian, for example, or a Caucasian, you do not have such power as an Aryan has. And it's just a biological fact. It is something which cannot be changed, and they cannot rewrite history. As much as they want to try to erase the true history, they cannot erase it, because there will always be philosophers, occultists, thinkers who will come out with the truth. and I am one of them. I will tell the truth. I will not let the true Aryan teachings of my forefathers be lost. Now, in this story, which is explained in the Orion Book, we can see a very tragic and true element which causes very deep pain and sorrow when one truly understands what this ancient mythological story entails. It is basically a part of every ancient mythology. The rulers of this plane, the illuminati caste, with their servants, they are the servants of the devil, of Lucifer. And now I will explain who the devil is, who Lucifer is. I will also explain who the so-called Satan or Marduk is. He is the son of the devil, and this is also the true reason of all political struggles in this plane, in this earth plane that we inhabit. It's not about economy, it's not about races. It has a bit to do with races, of course, but the most important element of all political conflict, basically the conflict between the two alliances. We have the NATO alliance. I live in the NATO alliance in this country, but the people in my country, they prefer the BRICS alliance. NATO is with Lucifer and the BRICS is with Marduk, with the son of Lucifer, and they want to fight the father and son for the power of this world to the death. And this is why Russia uses terrorist methods. This is why the USA, which is the most powerful force in the world now, calls Russia a mob country, which is run by a terrorist mob boss, because this is basically the rivalry between Lucifer and his son. Now USA, NATO represents Lucifer, and Lucifer gives a bit more freedom to the people. This is why most intelligent people prefer NATO, and they hate Russia and they hate China and they hate communism, because communism is inherently anti-human. It is a bloodthirsty ideology meant for very stupid and annoying people, meant for animalistic people who do not understand the Luciferic deep knowledge. And if you begin to study the Luciferic knowledge, there are tons of books out there. You can study the ruling elite's teachings. You will begin to see how the story in the Orion Book is perfectly fitting into the whole story, into how this world works, into how events unfold. Basically, everything starts to make sense when you understand why relationships between men and women almost always fail, why women are made to hate men, why women are made to reject men like me. Basically, it's all a matter of programming, a matter of mind control, and these folks, these people, Most of them are not even true real people. I will also get to that part in a moment. They're basically like non-player characters, like in the video game. They're also called NPCs. Now, a lot of the population here are like this. They're background characters created by Lucifer. They're the clay people. Basically, they're the religious types, the conformist types, the types who will die to protect this system which crushes them every day. These are the clay people types. Also in the mythology, in the Abrahamic religion, in their mythology, these clay people, they are for slaughter. Every true Satanist and Luciferian knows these conformist types, they do not really serve a true role here on this earth plane. They're enmeshed in fear. Their whole existence is based on fear. And as far as I know, they make up the majority of humanity, unfortunately. Now, I don't know if it was like this a couple of 100 years ago, but in the past century or 2 or 3 centuries, I am sure that these NPC types, these hollow, empty humans, they have no spirit, they lack the human spirit. They make up the bulk of the population, basically, and they make all the trouble. They get in my way, they get in the way of the true Aryan. They want to ruin the life of the true Aryan, basically. And I have to navigate between them, I have to protect myself from them, I have to protect my sacred space from them. Now, in this story, which is in the Orion Book, there is this very deep mythological motif. It is archetypal. It has to do with the legendary aspect of life. And the story goes like this. In the constellation of Orion, this is, in the broadest terms, everything which is beyond this enclosed matrix that we inhabit. In this constellation, there is a Dragon Queen. She is eternal. She is spirited. She has an eternal spirit. She is our creatrix. She and her team of genetic engineers have created this planet, this earth plane, as a living library. It is a place which hosts all kind of life, all kind of beauty. It was intended to be a very peaceful and harmonious place, a place of truth, a place where love can reign free, a place where the human can be truly free, without fear, without death. And somewhere along the way, war was introduced. It is part of galactic existence, unfortunately. And the Dragon Queen, she had one son. He was an archangel. In the Orion Book, he's called also Archangel Uriel. This is Lucifer, in fact. And there was another son. He was the brother of Uriel. He was Archangel Michael. Now in the Sumerian mythology, these two, Lucifer is called Enki, and his brother is called Enlil. And it was a rivalry. It was based on jealousy. The fall of Lucifer. In some art, he is also depicted castrated, because in the mythology, Lucifer was in fact castrated in the Regal star system, where the Zeta Regalian races originate from. There was a war, and his brother castrated him in a war. This was the legendary war in heaven. And I will also explain why the dog race is inherently an enemy of humanity, and why the ancient feline, Lyran and cat race was the true creator of humanity. And somewhere along the way, there are also other stories. These are from other types of occult orders, that the Orions battled with the Lyrans, and the Orions beat the Lyrans. Now, I personally have not read that much of this type of literature, but I will read this, and I will definitely share with you what I learn in the future. But the story goes something like this. The Dragonic Orion races, they are reptilian in nature. They became the true creators of humanity. They had living library planets stationed all over the galaxy, and it was a kind of experiment, a kind of living library, as they call it. And they wanted to see how these races, which they engineered genetically, were going to fare, how they were going to live. And it was an interesting experiment until the war in heaven commenced. And Lucifer, he was a very intelligent being, but the reason that this happened, his fall, was because of his pride. He was very prideful. And the Dragon Queen, she was the goddess of the stars. That's how she's named. She basically chose his brother to become the prince of Orion, and not Lucifer. And Lucifer was truly angry. He wanted to destroy the Orion Empire. He wanted to destroy the Dragon Queen, and he became truly hostile towards life. This is a very deep feeling. I know this feeling too well. I think every true man knows this feeling, because Lucifer is connected to men. He's the patriarchal figure. He's the God of the Old Testament. He's the God of every religion on this planet. Basically, he's the demiurge. You can call him a demiurge. And he incites men to feel this deep hatred. And you can you can get into the depths of this hatred. It can fuel the warrior spirit. And when you study his teachings, the Luciferian teachings, the satanic teachings, you can understand him. You can see who he is. Basically, he is not a benevolent god, deity being. The religious people are foolish, stupid, and brainwashed. Their religions are false. Abrahamic religions are false light. They're basically slop for the soul. When you consume these type of religious egregores, they're these collective fueled type of egregor beings. These are like slop for your spirit. They poison your soul. They turn you into an idiot slowly but surely. This is why I would never advocate for anyone to go to church or to be a religious man. Never pray to the devil. All your prayers are going to the devil. He is a lush farming you. He is harvesting your psychic energy, your worship energy. To the goddess from Orion, worship is an abomination. You do not need to worship in order to be a true spiritual human. And the devil, he became this patriarchal type of being. He became the boss of the Sirius constellation. This is the dog star constellation. They're the dog, wolf, and reptilian race, and they are inherently evil. They're a warlike race. They beat their females. They have this mating ritual where the male the dog, they're humanoid alien dogs basically. They beat their female humanoid alien dogs, and when the male is stronger in battle, he gets to rape the female, to mate with her. Basically, this is, I think, perfectly illustrated in human gangster culture, in the mob culture, in the mafia. I think the mafia perfectly symbolizes the Syrian way of life. These dog people. I hate dogs. I despise their race. They're despicable to me. When I see a little dog, I want to crush it. I want to beat it to a pulp. I just want to crush its ugly, little, stupid dog head with its stupid, naive dog stare. I truly hate these beings. I love cats. I would even prefer a reptilian type of being if I have a pet or something. I don't think I've ever had a pet, but I hate dogs. They're disgusting creatures to me, and I know why. It is because I'm a true Aryan man. I am not Syrian by nature. I am an Orion man. I come from Lyra, from Andromeda, from Orion. In myself, I do not carry so much of the Syrian genetics, so I know why I hate dogs. Basically, it's a defense mechanism. It's a natural defensive reaction. When you see an enemy, you basically want to kill the enemy, and the dog is the enemy of humanity. This is why I would never trust dogs. I would never get a guard dog, for example, because why would I get a being which is my enemy? Anyway, back to the Orion story. What transpired was the removal of Lucifer from Orion. After his rebellion, he said that he was the more intelligent brother, which could be true. In all honesty, I do not doubt his intelligence. He's an archangel after all, so he might have been the more intelligent of the two. But the Dragon Queen, the goddess, she had another criteria. She wanted benevolence as a leading characteristic. She didn't want a prideful prince. She didn't want a prince who could threaten her peace. Because in Orion they use very advanced technology which can destroy the whole Sirius star system. This is why we humans should not take this system seriously here. Because here these powers that be, as far as I know, they are basically made to serve the Syrian agenda. They hate the Orion agenda. This is why they hate the Aryan man. This is why they want to destroy Western civilization and the white race. They don't like the Nordic tradition because it threatens their way of life. It threatens the dog's life. They're like the dog worshippers. They have this cult of Set, who is a dog deity. And the dog deity is the one who guards the afterlife. Imagine this. Now, who the hell is this dog deity who would wipe the memory of the innocent human? Basically, this dog deity cannot do anything to Orion technology. And in Orion, they have this type of battle technology. In our terms, as far as I know, with my humble knowledge, I think we can compare them to this type of, on the one hand, with the Syrian dog type technology. They use mainly violence, aggression, they use explosions, this type of technology. And the Orions, they specialize in implosions, in anti-gravity technology. Now in the Second World War, the Nazis, the German Aryan Nazis, they used to make these experiments. They have these secrets. I think the intelligence agencies, the deep state, holds these secrets in high regard still with anti-gravity technology, because this is the Orion tech. They basically, they keep the Orion tech for themselves. They use it in gang stalking, in psychotronics, in these research experiments. They want to control society with it. But the truth is very tragic that they have given, it's like they have given Orion tech to the filthy, nasty and stupid dogs. The dogs don't deserve this Orion technology, basically. These subhuman dogs, they don't deserve this goddess technology. But the devil, he has given their pawns, his NPCs, this technology, and they mess around here with it, and they want to crush the Aryan man's spirit with his own technology. Imagine this. This is my technology from Orion. They have hijacked my power, my technology, and they want to torture me with my own technology. Can you imagine their arrogance and stupidity? And they will pay for this. They will lose the war in heaven. They have already lost this war. And what happened was that Lucifer got kicked out of Orion. He was very bruised. His ego was bruised. He took refuge in Aldebaran in the Taurus constellation, in the Sirius star system. And he hijacked this Orion technology, and he basically used this same technology, which is my technology. This is the Aryan mass technology, and he used it to enclose this world, to create an enclosed world. Now, we inhabit only 4% of the entire universe. We see only 4%. Our scientists, our astronomers, when they look out into space, even physics has proved this, we see everything with a delay. We don't actually see the cosmos in real time. We are so fooled here. We are isolated. We lead a tragic and sad existence. And the other 96% of the universe, of the cosmos, we can call it the Ka. We can call it in broad terms Orion. Basically, it's everything true, and we inhabit the 4% which is false. The devil, he's the demiurge, he's the god of the Bible, of the Old Testament. He's the creature that sacrifices his own creatures, his own slaves. He has this very perverse relationship with his creations, so to speak, with his clay humans. It is very nasty, perverse relation. It is basically like, for example, I create this being, and this being is my slave. It has to obey me. Now I can torture this being, I can beat this being, I can do as I please to this being, but sometimes I have these momentary feelings of something more warm, of something like this type of fatherly affection, but at the same time I have this sadistic desire to brutalize this being, and this is how we are treated by the system. Basically, this is the God of the Old Testament. This is the deity that all religious food people worship. And the system also enforces this rule of law. It is false law. It is not the Dragon Queen Goddess's law. This is the devil's law. It is not true law. It holds no power over me. It holds no power over the Aryan man. And they use this false doctrine, this false law. This is for clay people, for stupid NPC clay people. This is their law. And they use this law to basically crush humanity, to crush the human spirit, to beat down, to break down every last bit of humanity in the human being. This is how they built this system, how they designed this nasty system of control. They keep people poor, they keep people laboring in jobs in slave labor. They want to ensnare people with fear. They're fear-mongering. They want to control you. They stalk you. They stalk every little bit of your life through the grid, through these electronic devices. They use this Orion tech because it's all Orion tech. All the blueprints, everything our scientists have, everything our deep state has, it's all Orion tech. It comes from the Dragon Queen, from the goddess. And Lucifer, he basically hijacked this tech and he made this world closed. He put like like a, like a type of dome. You can imagine it like a dome. Even in Masonic literature, I have read Masonic books, I have seen that it is blatantly stated in the most obvious way that this place, it is a plane, and basically they keep it under a dome. Now the sun, even our sun and moon, they are false. It is not the real Orion sun. We get our light from the Sirius constellation. It reflects the light from the Sirius constellation, and the moon is a control station. This is why in every witch tradition, in the dark Sumerian Draconian Empire traditions, they all connect with the moon. The moon is connected with the evil forces, with the dark forces, and the true sun is connected with eternity, with spirit, with eternal life, with goodness, with humanity. And every teaching which teaches humans to sacrifice other humans, it can also be called a Sumerian Draconian Empire teaching, or a moon type teaching. They come from the moon. The moon is like a control station. They want to keep the souls here after death. They use the moon as this interface control station. They have built a grid around this place, like a dome, spheroid type of grid, and you can escape this grid after death. You don't have to believe they're holograms. You don't have to go into the tunnel of white light. You basically have to escape this evil place, because here they treat people like trash. Just plainly said, in the most simple and truthful way, they treat humanity like garbage. Basically, the only people who get good treatment are the rich folks, some of the servants of Lucifer. They get better treatment. But in general, people here are treated badly by the system. It's basically a fight for survival. This is how these overlords who reign over humanity have designed it. Their whole system is designed in this way. It's basically the devil's matrix. You can call it the devil's simulation if you prefer, although I do not believe it is a simulation, because I'm Aryan, and in my forefathers' teachings it is explained that it is a real plane. It is as real as it gets. It is not a simulation. It's just a realm which has bad conditions in it. So you can call it a simulation, because it's very fake here. Life has very fake and plastic feel to it. Society also is fake. Most people are very stupid, unpleasant, and fake. And in general, it's a very fake place, so you can view it as a simulation, of course. But in the broadest sense, it's more akin to a prison realm, like a prison planet. Like it was a very good planet. This was a living library. This is a living crown. In Norse mythology also it is explained. This is the real world. It is not some kind of video game, although it does look a lot like a video game, and this is because of the devil, because of his shenanigans, because of the way that he entrapped us here. he has made life feel like a video game, like simulation, and we should not really take his system very seriously. Even the Norsemen knew it is not a glorious life to live hunched over as a fearful slave. It is much more honorable to die in battle, fighting for the truth, fighting for yourself, fighting for your dignity, than surrendering to the enemy. There is no honor in surrendering to the enemy, and even if the enemy tries to mind control you, to use MK Ultra on you, to use these psychotronics on you, you should not give up. You should not capitulate. You should fight to the death against the enemy, because the biggest humiliation, even according to Norse mythology, is to die a dishonorable death. So you should not fear death. If you're a true Aryan man, if you carry the same genes which I carry, you should never give in to the devil. You should remember the old ways of the goddess, the ways of the Dragon Queen. These are the true ways. And in essence, what his commands here is that the true masculine spirit and the true feminine spirit have been deeply inverted, deeply and in a very perverse way, almost destroyed. Because in the legends, the woman archetype which rules here, this is the dark goddess Lilith. She's the queen of demons. She's the queen of the night, of the moon, of prostitutes, of horrors, of all these beautiful women which I want deeply and who are very rejecting towards men like me. And I understand it is for a reason, because if I was of the devil, they were going to really serve me. But because I am a true Aryan, maybe only a true Aryan woman will appreciate me. This is what I think. And I think there are very few of them. In general, there are very few Aryan people who still honor the truth in this world. It is a very sad fact, because I know there are even Aryans who have better genes than me, who have silver eyes, silver colored eyes, taller than me, and they're traitors. They're of the devil. So it is a very sad fact. But be it as it may, what has happened here is that the true masculinity has been inverted, and this is where we get our twisted patriarchal teachings that men should always be like these brutish and domineering type of nasty tyrants, and that they should never give in to their feminine side. But the truth is that the man's power comes from his feminine side. Without the feminine side, a man cannot become a champion in sports. And in women, they get these twisted teachings by womankind that they should be manipulative, like the demoness goddess Lilith. She's the goddess of the underworld. She's also called Persephone in Greek mythology. and she has these characteristics. She's very seductive, she's very sexual, and she has this magic power over men. Men cannot resist her beauty. She can take the form of a young maiden, and she farms your energy, your viril energy, your life force, your quantum, basically all terms to point to the same thing, your life essence. And these type of women, they're basically witches. And to me, for example, only the beautiful women have this power over me. I do not like the bad looking women, so they, in reality, they have no power over me. But the beautiful looking women wield this power, and it is a fact of life. Men cannot escape this fact of life, that a witch woman is basically taught to control a man. And the bad thing is that if she is not of the true goddess, if she is not of the Dragon Queen Goddess, she will basically lush farm you, she will take your energy and kick you to the curb. This is how the relationship dynamic always goes for the man. And a lot of men, they make the mistakes of having children with these types of women, and they get kicked to the curb, and then they commit suicide because they can't take the pain. But this is how it goes. Basically, this witch type of woman, the Lilith seductress woman, whom the man cannot resist, she is beautiful. She has this goddess power over the man. When she's of the dark feminine, when she's an evil witch, basically she takes control over the man. She sucks his energy, she sucks him dry, and he's left an empty husk of a man. He's left crushed. She can crush his spirit even, because the man loves her in a very noble way. He just wants to cherish her, to enjoy her. She's like an angel to him. And then when the Lilith spirit takes over her, she betrays and abandons the man. She goes to another man, she leaves the man, she kicks him to the curb. It's basically the same story every time. It happens to rich people, to actors, to even to beautiful looking men. It's always the same archetypal story with these types of witch women, these Lilith types of women. Basically, they have this tremendous power over men. I'm speaking from personal experience. This very painful aspect of reality. And they use it against men. This is how they rule men. They have this very dark power. I have even read in some occult books that they have their secret societies, these women special orders, like these female illuminati type of orders. But what I have read is that at the highest level they all converge at Lucifer. So even the female illuminati, I'm not really sure if they're into the Dragon Queen Goddess from Orion, or if they consider her an enemy. These things are still a mystery to me, but hopefully I will unveil this mystery also. And I think that this is how these beautiful type of women control men. This is why they're the most loved in society. This is why a man means nothing in society. A man is disposable. A man is like a soldier. He is thrown to the wolves. He is thrown on the battlefield. He's like cannon fodder. But these women, they're worshipped because of their beauty, and their value is inherently higher than that of a man. And this, I think it comes from the ancient Orion way of life, but it has this twist to it, thanks to Lucifer and Lilith, that now the man is like trash. He's to be castrated. He's to be thrown out. Basically, this is how it is in society. I will make separate videos about this topic, as it very much pains my heart, and it also brings me frustration, loneliness. But I will say in short here that we can see this in society. Basically, men most of the time are alone. They live this very tragic, sad, solitary existence. If the man is strong, he will be a warrior. If not, he will become this useless, fat piece of lard, which is ugly and unpleasant to everyone around him. But if the man is strong, he will fight like a true Aryan, and he will make it. Even if he remains alone, he will always make it, because he carries the goddess spirit within him. But here's what happens most of the time. Now, some men get lucky, some men do get the girl, they do get the beautiful wife, they get the beautiful girlfriend. But most men don't. Most men are treated like trash, expendable, disposable, unwanted. And most women do get what they want. They get the man. They get the man they want. They are worshipped. They're treated better in society. Now, I think ugly women are not treated better, of course. They have it as bad as men do, the ugly looking women. Now, I personally don't like them. I am not attracted to them. So I don't really know how it is in their life. But the normal looking women, the cute looking women, the beautiful women, they have it very easy in life. They basically, if they don't become slaves to the mob, if they don't become slaves to the mafia, they can win at life very easily. They can get the man they want. They will always be put on a pedestal, on this high place. They will be viewed in high regard, while the man is viewed like a peasant, like a lowling, like a lower order of being. Basically, it's this twisted type of a Luciferian or Lilith type dynamic. And in Orion, it's not meant to be like this. In Orion, the man is allowed to be feminine when he wants to. He is allowed to show his feminine side. He's not judged for it. He's not judged as weak by a bunch of dogs. Like here, as if a pack of dumb and brutish dogs is judging you if you show only the slightest bit of femininity. But what the dogs don't know, you can blow up their whole star system with your slightest bit of femininity. They underestimate your power because they forget that the true Aryan has balanced energies. He is balanced between masculine and feminine. He is not like a sickly overly masculine, brutish, tyrant type. He can use the receptive energy to crush his enemies. This is how they win wars in Orion. They use the enemy's energy against the enemy itself. This is the true Aryan way. And you don't really have to put that much struggle. You can be a champion, you can be champion in sports, but you don't have to take it as such a struggle. This is the Orion wisdom, this is the Orion way. You don't have to turn it into a dog-eat-dog world like they teach us that it is here. You don't have to subscribe to that belief system. You don't have to live your life like this, like a dog. Because dogs are nasty and stupid creatures by nature. Cats, felines are our true ancestors. They're the better creature, the better animal, the better representative of humanity. The cat spirit is closer to us humans. And now, to get to the end of this video, this will be the first video in this type of series. This will be my educational series. I will explain in short what the different types of humans who are inhabiting this earth realm are. And I understood this a bit too late in my own personal life, and if I knew this a little bit earlier, I would have protected myself against the NPC types, but I couldn't understand this when I was younger, so I probably let them too much into my personal space, and it led to some trouble for me. But it is something that I will overcome. They can never crush my Aryan spirit, and I will not allow them to. Now, the original type of human, the true human, the real human, I think that now they're endangered and they turn us into targeted individuals. Basically, there's this whole deep state mafia mob program that targets these types of people. I think it's when they allow the NPC types into their life, and the NPC types are very jealous of me because I have true spirit and they don't, and they basically want to crush me, to destroy my spirit. I think this is the dynamic, put very simply. This is the true reason they target people, because they cannot make me obey. They cannot break my will. They never will break my will. I'd rather die in battle against them than allow them to control me. So they will not win. I hope Europe also listens to me, takes my stance, because this is the true Western man's stance. Western civilization will fall utterly into ruins if they do not listen to me. I speak the truth. And the real spirited man, he has this eternal quality to him. He has this type of perception of reality which the lesser types of humans don't have. They they perceive existence in a more brutish, primitive, and animalistic way. This is the most simple way to put it. The true spirited man, he is a philosopher. I'm a philosopher. Every spirited man is a philosopher. The spirit gives man this inkling, this drive to philosophize, to think about existence, to contemplate, to think, but in this free way. This is the Aryan way, not fated, not ruled by fate, but breaking the chains of fate when fate tries to break you. This is the way of the Norse. This is the way of my ancient forefathers. And the true spirited man, he doesn't surrender. He does not really like evil. He understands evil, but he tries to not be ruled by it. I think this is the main difference between the higher type of man and the lower type of man. The higher type of man, he tries to use these evil demonic forces for his own benefit if he can. He doesn't want to serve them or to be controlled by them. He prefers to use them. And in Norse mythology, there are plenty of examples of exactly this phenomenon. This is why the northern spirit is the true spirit of humanity. This is why northern people are more intelligent and overall better at life than southern people and other types of people, because in the north they're the closest to the truth. They are the closest to the beginning of this civilization. They carry the best genes. And the true spirited man, he is basically eternal. He is not subject to death. His spirit never dies. It always lives on. It always wins in the end. And he gets to ascend. He gets to return to Orion. He gets to go wherever he wants, basically, after his Earth life is done here. He does not have to conform to these evil and nasty reincarnation loops, these false karma teachings, this control dogma, religion, falsehood. All of it is nasty falsehood. When I contemplate it, I deeply hate this falsehood which they use to try to control me. I know that they're evil and false. I know it. The very core level of my being. I know that these are my enemies. These are not my friends. They do not even give me what they want in life. They don't treat me well in life. Now, if they were my friends, they were going to treat me like I was in heaven, like I was the king of the world. But alas, they treat me like a peasant. So, they're not my friends. They're not out to protect me or to save my soul or whatever. They're just these controller types. They just want to control people. They want to crush my spirit. And I feel deep hatred towards them. I feel lied to. I feel like I was born in a prison world, like I'm in prison planet. As if I came here, I came in ancient times, and then some kind of war happened, and I basically am still here, and I will return to where I came from. But while I am still here, I will protect myself. The spirited man, he is the uncontrollable man, basically. He's the one who can create. This is what the spirit means in Orion terms. To have this creative power, this creative essence in yourself. This is how the Dragon Queen Goddess creates. This is how every being from Orion creates. They use spirit. Not all of the beings who inhabit this earth have spirit. Now I will move on to the lesser type of man. I will tell you what he is. He is a human who has a soul. Now a soul can be an artificial construction also, so it is not always very sure what type of soul a being has. But you can never go wrong if you try to measure someone by their spirit capacity. This is how the Aryan measures people. It is encoded in the DNA also. The DNA is a reflection of the spiritual essence of man. Now the Nordic, the white race, the Indo-European also, they're Indo-European, I also carry their blood. Some of them carry Norse genes and they carry the true European heritage. They're the true white people. And some of them have spirit in them. Now the ones who don't have spirit, these are the lower order of humans. They are basically like these types who they can be good people, they can be very intelligent. I think also they can be artists, but they have this true quality lacking about them. There is something sad about them. Now, for me, I always carry this Aryan type of harmony within me. And these types who don't have the spirit but are still in soul, they still have this connection to humanity, they're like one order below me in the spiritual sense, not in some hierarchical devil sense, but in plain existence sense. Like they can't understand life the way I understand it. For example, they can't fight the controllers. Basically, they can't speak the truth. They may be afraid. They may be into these deep state things also. They may be enmeshed in evil, but most of them are not truly evil. They are just more foolish or more fearful. These are the second types of humans here, and they can strive, they can work to achieve a spirited existence. I think it is possible for them. I think so. But they have to rebel against the system. I think if they do not rebel inside their heart, in the core of their being, they will not get to ascend to Orion. They will not get to a better place, basically. They will stay trapped if they cannot understand what I'm speaking. And now I will explain the lowest types of beings. Now these are the troublemakers, in my opinion. These are basically the worst types of enemies you can have in life. They're the background characters, they're the NPCs, the gang stalkers, these types, the informants who stalk people, who work with the evil police, with the evil intelligence community, with the evil secret societies, with the evil system. They use this dogmatic system of control against you, and they have no spirit and the false artificial soul. Basically, these are, I think, not so hard to spot. There are characteristics about them. I observe them. I observe these types because they're the ones who are basically fighting me in this passive-aggressive way, this indirect way. They're a mob. I think they make up the mob, basically. Probably the majority, if not all of the mob, is made up of them. They are beings whom Lucifer created solely for the purpose of using them as clay people, slave types. Now they have like one life, one existence. They don't reincarnate, they don't get to ascend to Orion, for example. They're basically like these virtual type of robot beings. And these types, basically, I think if a spirited man allows them into his life, they will try to crush him mercilessly. He has to fight them. They try to enmesh a spirited man in their petty little squabbles. They're very petty, foolish creatures. They're basically trained to be very loyal servants of the devil, of evil. They serve the evil system which crushes man's spirit, and they have this mission. It's like they have sworn an oath to this evil power that they have this mission to crush every spirited being that walks on this earth. It's like their mission in life. They have this such a deep hatred towards me, towards every spirited man, that their words, the way they talk, their whole vibe, their energy just gives them away how evil and nasty and petty they are. Basically, they just emit this evil about them. If you could look at biofields, if you could see the auric field of a human, and you get to look at one of them, these NPC types, you would probably see some type of evil, devilish energy constantly emitting from them. They're like this hive mind. I have heard this term. They're the demonic hive mind subpopulace, which makes up the majority of society. Basically, they want to enforce tyranny upon you. They want to take away your rights. They want to take away your private property. They want to censor you. They want to take away your freedom of speech. They don't want you to be yourself. Basically, they're everything wrong with this world, these NPC types. They just want to make life very bad for everyone else. And they have this distinct quality about them that just exudes their fakeness. They're like plastic or clay figurines in a certain sense. When you listen to them talk, or when you just observe them, or when they're gang stalking you, you can see in them that they're just fake to the core, as if there is not a real being there inside them. If you try to analyze them, to understand them, it's like you're just looking at some type of reflections and you never get to see their real self, because there is no real self in them. They have no true self. They have no human self. They have no human spirit, in essence. And in some spiritual traditions, which are of the devil also, which are deceitful and false, they teach you that this is something good to not have a spirit self, but it's something very evil, because every human has a spirit self. This is something the Norse people know. Every Norseman knows this. The true human has a spirit self. Only the subhuman, the NPC, doesn't have a spirit self. The NPC is like an animal. It is basically like this being that just reflects back to you what they want you to perceive about them. They want to manipulate you. And this is their biggest weapon in life, basically. I think that's their only weapon, because when they're found out, when you see them for who they are, they have no power over you. They cannot control you. They cannot fear you. Basically, they're just like these NPC characters who are just filler characters. They're background characters in the world. And I think that the system gives them a lot of power that they do not deserve in this evil world that we inhabit. And this is what's wrong with this world. Basically, they represent everything wrong with this world, these NPC types. When they get the Orion technology from the intelligence community, from the deep state, it's like you're giving a monkey an advanced machine gun. This is what it's like, basically. You're giving like the stupid monkey this Orion technology, and the monkey messes it up. The monkey uses it for stupidity, for evil. And this is what happens, basically. This is why the world is in such a bad, chaotic and evil state. Why evil rules over good. Why people are greedy. Why there's Ragnarok. like it's prophesied in the Norse traditions. This is the end of the world. These are the end times that we are living in, the times of the apocalypse. And because of these NPC types, because they're given a power which they do not deserve in this world, they're unjust, they do not uphold truth, they do not respect harmony, they do not want peace. All they do is propagate evil. They're evildoers, corrupt, crooked, and mostly unpleasant. Basically, only their women types, they're good for sexual services. But other than that, I don't really think that there's much use in these types. And because power is given to them, which they do not deserve this power, these NPC types, this is why the world is in ruin. This is why Western civilization is falling, is crumbling. This is why the white man suffers. This is why the white man is being terrorized. Because these stupid NPC types have received the Orion technology. It's like the forces of evil are just messing with us because this world is like a joke to them, and they have given the monkey the machine gun. It's basically what it is. It's very unintelligent, and I don't know why do they call it the intelligence community when they do this unintelligent behavior to give these types of beings, these subhuman NPC types, to give them the Orion technology. It's like they're giving the monkey the machine gun. And what do you expect? The monkey will go on and shoot off the innocent people with the machine gun. It's the whole targeted individual program. It's the whole gang stalking program. Basically, it's like they're taking a crap all over this world. And they don't care about it. So why should I take their system seriously? Why should I believe in them? I will not give them my belief. I do not trust their religious leaders. I do not trust their political leaders. I do not trust their false authority. They do not come from the Dragon Queen Goddess in Orion. I think they're more akin to the dog, wolf and reptilian evil races from the Sirius constellation. Now, why would I want to trust them when I want to kill their little dogs? I want to smash their little puppies, to destroy their little puppies, to basically crush the head of the little puppy. So why should I listen to those who worship the dog? These are not my people. These are not my forefathers. My forefathers worshipped the dragon. Probably. They never worshipped the dog. The dog is the enemy of man. If I had some forefathers from tribes, now they were the dragon tribe. They were never the wolf or the dog tribe. They were never the bear tribe. They were the dragon tribe. And what does the dragon do? The dragon flies over and burns everything which he hates. This is what the dragon does.